Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. I'm Air Dragon, also known as Aiden, and today we're going to be doing a kind of special project. In the past, I know I haven't live streamed in a while, it's been a few weeks, which I am sorry about, but I've been super busy with other stuff. That said, in the past few weeks, I've been working on a lot of the plywood rocket kits. They're all upstairs in the garage, but all of the pyramids, which you can check out on aerodragonlabs.com. We have 2 bundles available. Here, let me show you. Alright, so we have I have released the Mega Vanguard kit, which is this one right here, and then I released 2 bundles. We have the Mini Odd Rock bundle, which comes with a 18mm Vanguard and an 18mm Stealth. And then this right here, this is on sale right now. This is a really special bundle I'm doing. This is the Vanguard bundle. It comes with both a 18, 24, and 38mm Vanguard rocket. It also comes with a 29mm adapter so that you can fly any motor from a 18 all the way up to a 38mm on basically any size. You can fly your high A's and then B's and C's on this one, your D's and E's on this one, and then your E's and F's and G's on this one. So very large variety of motors that you can fly on it, and it's a great rocket. I will be posting the 38mm Stealth in a few days. That said, I'm getting ready to go on a trip, so I'll be gone from Wednesday to Thursday, which means all orders will get fulfilled when I get back on Thursday evening, which isn't that bad. But yeah, so today we're going to be working on this. This is it's a screw. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but basically I got the idea. What if we just take a Phillips head screw from just a model of a Phillips head screw, and then we scale it up and make it out of TPU, which, if you don't know what TPU is, I don't have any right next. Oh, I do. So this is a dice that I 3D printed out of TPU filament. And so it's squishy, right? So TPU is a very squishy filament. And so you can make flexible things out of it. And that's cool for rockets because it means if it smashes into the ground, it'll just flex and it'll deform but then spring back like a spring. So it won't actually damage the rocket at all, and it won't damage what it hits. So you could fly it on concrete and it would probably most likely be fine. I would obviously have to test it, but most likely it would be fine. Turn off this so there's no fire. But yeah, so it would work great. That said, we have to design it, and there's a few constraints and issues with this. I was thinking originally to do a cluster of 4 motors. Obviously, a Phillips head screw has... oh, you can't see that. Hold on. A Phillips head screw has here, 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 and here. So if you put a motor in each end of that, then you can have a 4-motor cluster. Unfortunately, because of the chamfer, it means you can't actually like get up. There's not enough space for a motor. So I'm just putting one motor down the center. And even still, there's not a ton of room because I decided to go with one 24mm motor. So it's not a ton of room. And basically, what I'll end up doing, this is all I have right now. I've got the screw model itself. And then I modeled, effectively, I modeled this geometry as best I could in OpenRocket and then figured out what size flange we need to make it stable. So I did that. And then I've started on this. Essentially, what this is going to be is it's going to be motor eject, meaning... when it goes up, instead of the nose cone coming off, it's going to eject the motor out the back, and then a streamer will come out there. The only reason that I need it to eject at all is because I don't want it to come in ballistic, because if it's stable going up, it'll be stable coming down, right? So I have to make it so that it doesn't do that. So it doesn't come in ballistic and literally screw itself into the ground, because these spirals will make it spin so fast. In fact, I'm worried about it actually like ripping itself apart from centrifugal force. We will have to see, but definitely it will be an interesting rocket, to say the least. So I'm going to check chat real quick, see if anyone has joined the the stream. Um, oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I remember you. I don't remember your name, but I remember you. Mind Maze, it's nice to see you. But yeah, so we are going to make a brew rocket, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do next is I need to figure out if this, because this is about a 1.2 millimeter tolerance, which is 3 layers on a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, which is pretty strong, but I don't know if that'll be strong enough. So I need to make the housing for the motor itself, and then we can move from there. The only thing I don't know, because I could make make a new sketch right here. Turn this sketch on, and then we do line here, here, here. Thing. Then the inside diameter of a 24 millimeter, or the outside diameter of a OD of SD's BT50. 24.8 millimeters, so to add tolerance, we'll do 25 mil. Oh, but it's revolved, which means we need half of that for the radius, which is 12.5. And then we want this overall radius, this number to be 45 degrees, and then the total width of it should be 2.5 inch. So that's the total width of that. So inspect from this corner to this corner. Inspect here to here. We got 57.15 millimeters. 57.15 millimeters. Perfect. Now we want to subtract probably 1 mil, so that there's a little bit of a tolerance gap there. We don't need that much though, actually. Actually no. We'll do 0.5, and then we do need it to have a bit of a collar. That way it actually stays in there in flight. So we will go line. Actually, what am I doing? I can just use the old sketch, do U, revolve it around this axis, create a new body, hide the main body, fill it this to be 5, I believe it was. No, it was 10. Yeah, it was 10. Let me know if you guys can't hear me very well. You should be able to hear me, but yeah, no, I remember. Alright. And here, circle sketch. Dimension this to be 5. And then we will extrude this down. In fact, we will do symmetric. Yeah, symmetric is fine. Turn back on the main body. Okay. We are definitely going to want to fill it this a ton. It's like 10, 12, 12 millimeters it is. Fill this again by 10. Or not. that's fine. I know what we can do. And for this to, and then fillet this to be another 10. $46. Shoot. It has to be 40. Okay. But we want it to be a little bit higher up in there. So it's gonna go 4. Should be about good. There we go. Now there's, yeah, that's about good. See, that's good. Now we have our motor mount and our main. So in flight, after we have motor ejection, this will pop out, and then the streamer will come out of right here. I just have to figure out where the attachment points are, because we still need a way to attach this piece. We still need a way to attach this piece to the main piece. I don't know how that can be done. We could do it like the traditional low power way, where you just take the folded piece of paper and you put it up in here, and then find a spot to put it on here. The only issue with that is we need tolerance for the cord. I don't know. I'll think about that. One thing I do know we still need is a spot for the what's the English? I can't speak words. The launch rod. That's 0.25 inches. Make it in line with you and 80 millimeters. No, why would it be 80? No, we need more like 20 millimeters. There we go. Potentially. I think that's gonna be too close. Try 30 for. We'll try 30 and then go there. But this is actually, and this is gonna be like the most stable thing ever. But this is just gonna go straight up through all of it. Okay, that is definitely way too much. So I do need to move it closer. We'll try 20 again. That's too close. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that's about right, but it needs to be on the other side. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta apply this real quick. Did my airplane mode get turned on my phone? What? That is very interesting. Uh, guys can see. Oh, hey, air propulsions. Uh, Give me 1 second. Appears to have technical difficulties. Give me 1 second, guys. One more second, please. Just gotta send this real quick. Copy. Okay. Um, there you go. Now we should be able to go back. Okay, great. So what I'm doing right now is we're working on the screw rocket. For anyone that just tuned in, working on the screw rocket. I'm adding the hole for the um. I cannot English. It's uh the guide rod, guide, not the guide rail. I cannot think right now apparently. But it's the thing that the rocket goes on top of that guides it. It's the guide rail, guide rod. I don't know why those words don't sound right, but they probably are, so I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. I don't know how well the friction will do because there's essentially one really long hole right here, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more holes, which is like, it'll make it super stable, but hopefully there's not too much friction there. If there is, I guess I can just move it out some so it's only in the cone, but I don't know how well that would go. Okay. So now we gotta go back to the issue of connecting these two because, again, at apogee, when the motor ejection charge fires, this will go. Motor will knock this part out, so then the streamer will come out of right here. But I need a way to connect this section to this section. And the reason I don't know where to put it is I can't really attach it any good places. Okay, that's not a bad. Okay, so on my oh, not that. Open it on my mini Zenith Express. Once it opens, I can show you. In Mini Zenith Express, this is all one piece, right? So on the normal ones, there's a connector right here that you can tie the shock cord to when you're building it, but on this one, there's not, right? So I had to make a new way for it to attach, and so I added this little, where is it? Right here. I added this groove right here that you glue. So you glue the shock cord in between the motor mount tube and the outside of this. So that would fix that. Definitely. So that's what I'll do here. The only other issue is then how do we attach it to the rocket itself, right? Because I could theoretically do the whole thing like that SD started, where you take your piece of paper and you fold it up into trifold it, and then you glue that into it. But I don't know how well that will hold against the TPU, and I don't know how well it'll hold against like multiple repeated flights. And we want something that will last, right? So, my other thought was I could tie it somehow like to this, like make another groove in here and then have it do that. But I think that's just going to add complications. So I think doing this as simple as possible is the best way. And I think we'll try the trifold square, see how long it holds up. But ideally that'll work. So we gotta add the groove, and this groove is essentially a diameter of 1.5 and about probably 0.6 indented. So here we're gonna go make a circle that is that has a diameter of 1.5 millimeters, and then put it in line with the center, and then .75. 12.75. That's probably about good. Say, turn off the main extrude. Okay. And then I'm going to be using the. That seems really small. Maybe it's not. I can't tell. Maybe this is just. I think it just looks small because this is such a small diameter. And this is also an 18 millimeter motor mount. This is a 24, so that plays a difference too. But yeah, so that'll be that, and then go back to the main, and I think that'll probably work. Going to keep this on, then give it a few millimeters. I want it. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't working the first time, but and if we just chamfer this by 0.75, that should be the right number. And then we do two distances and extend it down this way. Then it adds a nice transition into the thing. Or it should at least. Oh, never mind, it made a cone. Wish I could just like only do the second half of it. But alas, I cannot. What I can do, however, is make another circle here. A circle of the same diameter. And then add a line here. Make it a box. Constrain these vertical. This to this by 1 millimeters and dimension them apart by 1.5 mil, and then you just do turn off both of those. Bada bing, boom. And when you turn back on the main, you can extrude this down, making it a straight corridor. And you've got your straight and your flat, and then you just do scan for this now. Ideally, I think I did this right. Okay. Put that back to true distances. Screwed it down most of the way. 7 millimeters to be specific. Okay. That'll print perfect. And I'm going to just chamfer these, fillet these by 1 to open it up nice and large. I won't be zooming anymore. Okay. Also throw a fillet on here, 1 millimeter, 0.2. I think if we move that, then we can fill it this way. There we go. Yes, nice. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, David. All right. Perfect. So that is that. If you're just tuning in, this is essentially a giant screw rocket. It's basically a screw that's been made into a giant rocket. Well, it won't be that giant. It'll probably, this is scaled right now to be 10 inches tall. If this is popular, I could definitely make a larger one because I have a bigger printer, so I could make one all the way up to 20 inches tall, I think, or maybe a little more. But it's going to be made out of TPU, which is basically just a flexible filament. I have this dice made out of TPU, so you can squish it, and basically you can fly it on concrete without it smashing into 20,000 pieces, which should be very useful. Also, it's a cool rocket. It'll spin like crazy, so I'm very worried that it'll like rip itself apart with centrifugal force, but we will have to see. Yeah, so I also did sims in OpenRocket, and this flange is the right size. I sized it to be the right size so that it should fly stably, and the spinning will help stabilize it even if it doesn't. If this isn't enough to stabilize it, and if the spinning over-stabilizes it, then we're just cooked because it'll fly. It'll implode, essentially. I think that's almost good. Let's see, what else does a rocket need? It's got rear motor eject, which is another thing I have never played around with before, so this will be the first time trying that. But basically, it'll fly up, so it'll go, and then when I get to apogee, it'll turn over. Then the motor will fire its ejection charge, which will blow this apart, and then there will be a shot cord connecting in here to in here, so then a streamer will come out of right here, come out, and then the streamer will stop it from coming in ballistic on its way down. The only reason this streamer is there is not to help soften the blow at all. It's literally only to stop the rocket from becoming ballistic. So I'm hoping between the streamer and this not being inside the rocket anymore, it'll be not stable when it comes down, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see. We've got shock cord will be connected here. Shock cord will be connected here. The motor tube will go here. This is the guide rail slot. Honestly, I think that's probably about it that we need to do. I'm going to export this model and we'll go put it in. We'll go throw it in Elegoo slicer to slice it up. See how it goes. Alright, product files. I gotta make sure I can't show you guys any things that are. I don't want to leak anything. This folder. I need a name for this rocket too. Right now I've just been calling it Screwed. But let me know what you guys think a good name for this rocket would be. Also, if the music is too loud or you would prefer it to be a different flavor of music, let me know and I can change it. But yeah, Elegoo. Nice. It should be when I simmed it before. When I checked it in, like I sliced it before, it was I think 180 grams, but that was before I added the bottom piece, and that was before I took out the center. So it should hopefully still be around there, but oh, I forgot to plug it back in when I hold on. Okay. Forgot to plug the computer back in when I brought it back downstairs. But we will see. So control import. We want documents, product files, printed kits, screwed, both pieces, TP with support, range. Actually don't. I want to try printing it with no support and see how that goes. I don't think it'll go smoothly, but hopefully it does. I would like to find a way to make this smoother because I don't think this is going to print amazingly. Because of the way the model was handled, it has all these triangles, which are annoying, but I don't know. I'm going to try to smooth them out. That said, this is just testing. So TPU with support. Take the support. I don't even know if we need support, honestly. And it's TPU. I feel like no support is best. We definitely will need to change this lip right here. There's a lip right here, and I need to get rid of that. That way there's not a giant overhang there. That would be bad. Solid. Chamfer. There's no reason to have extra overhangs. Oh. Chamfer U. Two distances. .5. Yeah, let's go send this up to 7-ish. That deletes the entire thing I did. Okay, well. That's fine. So in that case, we don't even need any of this nonsense. We don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. I think we still need that because that includes... Oh, never mind, we don't need that. Don't need that. I only need it to go to right there. Back on the main. I do this one. Chamfer it at 0.5. This at 15. That'll also reduce the weight a tiny bit more. That said, we're looking at 15 hours to print, not bad. And then the total filament is only 198 grams. That's actually really good for a D motor, because this will fly on a SD's D12, probably a D12.5, I think. About. That's a really good weight for a D12. I think you could actually put an adapter in this and end up flying it on a C6, probably, depending on how it ends up flying. But yeah, that'll be really good. And that's not even with changing. That's 3 walls and 5% infill. Should be gyroid, yeah. Gyroid, I find gyroid works best for TPU because it squishes evenly. Yeah, I think this will print really well. I think we could honestly make this out of the insert plate out of hard plastic, out of PETG, and that would work better. Make this out of TPU and this out of PETG. Or I could try printing them both out of TPU. I can't speak. Yeah. Also going to fillet this by 20. I meant 100. I don't know why filleting on an outside edge like this, the numbers are so weird. It's like a quarter of what it actually is, but yeah. And then I can't do this one because that's where this goes. But, yeah. I am going to chamfer this just because it will help with the inserting process. We'll do a chamfer of 2 millimeters on that. Equal distance. 2 mil. And then we're gonna want, I already know we're going to want a fillet on this of at least like 5 mil. Never mind, 5 is way too much. Let's try 2 mil. That's better. And then don't actually need to do a fillet here because it's such a mess. See, there's no tools for smoothing, right? Yeah, I'd have to put it in. I'd have to put it back into a mesh, and then, although, just do this. So this becomes a mesh without me crashing my computer. Hopefully, I don't crash the computer. And then we tell it to smooth it slightly. Smoothness, we want. Let's try that. Oh, I have to select it before I crash the computer. Guys, still there. Oh no, I didn't crash Fusion. Okay. This. Oh, was this before? Oh, I had already. Wait, what? Convert mesh. Oh. That's before I. That's after I turned it into a thing. Okay. So. Here, smoothing this. Let's try 1.9. Review that. See, that already does it way too much. It does smooth things over. What if I did that? Okay, that's way too much. Yeah, I do. Oh no, that's point. Oh, I have forgot to select my bad. Okay, so this is how it is, I think. Yes, perfect. Okay. So we are going to no, not convert the mesh. We already did that. We're going to smooth this mesh by 0.0. No, 0.01. Smoothing doesn't really work. We can remesh it though. We remesh this. A higher adapter, but a higher density. With maximum shape preservation. Nope, that made it worse. Okay, well, I guess we'll just leave it and see how well it prints. I'm printing something right now, so unfortunately I can't now. That said, it would have taken 15 hours anyways. So I guess I was planning to stream till 9. That gives me... This is the shortest stream I've ever done in my life, I think. That said, okay, so that's done. I will hopefully get this printed out and hopefully take it. David, when I come to see you, I'll hopefully bring it, and then we might be able to fly it sometime while I'm there. Maybe even at E-Rockets, I'm not sure. If you're still watching. If I get it printed out in time. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I don't even know how many people are watching the stream right now. I have 3 people right now. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. So I think I'm done designing this rocket for today. It should be pretty well done. Yeah, it should work out to be just under 200 grams total, minus the obviously the streamer and the top cord is going to be 300-pound Kevlar, and then also the motor tube and the motor itself, right? But that's wet weight, not dry weight. So yeah, dry weight at launch should be probably 210, which is, I believe, under the recommended number for SD 12 lift max weight. 226 grams. Perfect. Just under the maximum liftoff weight of the D12.7, which means if we got a D12.5, we can go all the way up to 283. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so we're right in the wheelhouse of the D's. Maybe even the C, because they did just come out with the C. Well, not. It was like 7 years ago, but the C11 also would fly on this. I don't know how well. Well, composite 18mm motors would fly fine, so like Quest 18mm motors would work well. Not sure how the SDs would function or not. I think maybe you could fly it on like a C3. Mac D6. No, yeah, no, so not a C. The C11 though should fly it. That's iffy. I think the C11 would fly it just fine. It would just go not very high. But yeah, So this rocket's done. I think I'm gonna get it printed out over the next day, or I'm gonna get it printed out, and then should have it with me testing in the next few days. So yeah. Um, Now the rest of the time depends on what you guys think we should do. I will answer any questions you guys have, as well as we can just chat, or I can start working on another project. I don't know what other projects I actually have to work on. I have so many ideas, but I don't necessarily want to start a whole nother one tonight. Um, I worked on a pixelated rocket a while back. I could take some input on. It needs to be redesigned, but um, let's see. So they open wooden space pirate ship. That's what it's called. Um, it was originally it's got like a crack in the hull and a mouth and some eyes, which are cannons, and then obviously the fins. The only issue is it's not anywhere even close to remotely stable. Um, so I have had this was a headache to design, and I'm not sure where to go with it next because it's just too small and too fat to be reliably stable. I'm pretty sure, unless I make the fins huge, but yeah. So pretty goofy though. And then let's see what other rockets do I have that I've been working on. I think I have some out here by accident. Never mind. So something else, I think. Ah, yes, R-23. I've been working on getting this rocket done. I've tested it so many times. It's called R-23. It's supposed to be like a stealth bomber with ring fins. It does not fly stably. I need to make the fins themselves a whole lot bigger and chunkier. I need to figure out how to make it stable because I do really like this rocket. I actually have one of the one of it right here. Um, don't pay attention to the terrible painting job, but this is what it looks like in real life, and it's about this big. It's supposed to be around $30, which is pretty good. Um, really cool concept, I'd say. And it looks really cool, but it's not stable, and I need to get it stable. I added a so the its first flight had no nose weight, but then after I think Mark III, I added about 15 grams of nose weight, and then since then I've added probably 30 grams of nose weight, or maybe 50 grams of nose weight, but I haven't flown it again. It's a really heavy model, so you have to fly it on Quest engines, which is less than ideal, but yeah. And then I've got this is a rocket that I've been working on for a hot minute. This is a high-powered rocket design called the Biohazard. It'll have radioactive sticker and then the name, 3D printed raised text for the name, and then the radioactive symbol. But it's got split fins, a tail cone, and then 29mm motor mount, and a fancy conical nose, which let me go. Uh, that I have this mocked up right here of that. Um, so I think I damaged. I think I broke this one. Yeah, traveling back from LDRS, this fin got cracked, so I need to fix that before I can actually fly it, finish it, and fly it. But the cool thing about this is I've been developing the nose cone avionics, similar to what I believe Lab Rat Rocketry, Inverted Pursuit Labs has one similar, but yeah, so comes with a dedicated avionics bay, which is really cool for a rocket this size. I think I recommended this, or the design intent behind it was this for this to be a really cool build project for level 1 and level 2. And then let's see what else. This one, this is such a cool rocket, David. I think if you're still watching the stream, you'd really like this rocket. Um, this is it's named Stars and Stripes. It is a um, red, white, and blue rocket. It's got stars cutouts on the fins. Aero Dragon Labs 250th anniversary says that's raised text. That's actually right here. Oh, can't even see it. My bad. But that's right here that it says Stars and Stripes on the transition from the 3-inch booster to the um, 3-inch booster to the 54 millimeter, I believe, um, main section. Uh, that's pretty cool. At least I'd say. I haven't got that one done. That one also, this is a cluster, so it's got 3 engines in it. Which the concept behind that is you have a red line engine, a blue thunder engine, and a white lightning engine. So you have red, white, and blue flames, which would be super cool as well. All 29 millimeter engines. And then that's all known rockets that are posted. One rocket that doesn't seem to be very popular by anyone is the is my Skyforge rocket. I would have thought that you guys would love Skyforge just because of the aesthetic, but you guys don't appear to love the. I haven't sold a single Skyforge at all ever, which is crazy because it's such a cool kit. But it's a 3-inch kit that comes with the name is raised text. It's got a whole copper piping. The nose cone is like a cage almost kind of. It's got laser cut fins. It's got a tail cone with rivets and all kinds of cool details. And then these are all 3D printed, fully 3D printed copper pipes. I'm not sure if it's the price that people don't like, because that is kind of pricey, but it's not. It's less pricey than my other really expensive rocket kit, the Ultra Zenith, which I've sold a ton of. So I don't know why people don't really like Skyforge very much. Um, I know it was one of my favorite. It was such a headache to build, dude. Like, oh my goodness. Skyforge, I went through like 20 iterations to get those pipes to print properly, look good, and like just be not a pain in the butt to assemble. So that rocket took me forever. But yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to send them in the chat. I will answer them accordingly. I will probably end the stream soon if no one asks any more questions because I am done designing the the screwed rocket, which I need a name for, guys. So if you think of a name for screwed, um, a better name than screwed for the rocket that is a screw, then definitely send it in the chat. That would be. I definitely need help with thinking of that name. If I don't get any other ideas, I'm sure I'll come up with something eventually, but I also like naming things after what my fans say, and taking inspiration from other people's ideas. I try as hard as I can not to copy anyone because I want everything I own and everything I make to be as unique as possible. I don't know if if any of you have ever been to my website, you'll notice that pretty much everything I make is very unique. The only thing I've ever really like copied off of has been the stealth, which I actually reached out to Art Applewhite and asked him if he wanted to be if I could manufacture his kits for him since he hasn't been able to for a long time. And that's how I started designing. That's how I started being able to sell the stealth. I actually have the Cinco and the Delta of his in the works as well. Two other saucers. Um, the Cinco is like a 5-sided pyramid, and then the actually it's more of a saucer than a pyramid, I guess. And then the Delta is a full-on pyramid or a full-on saucer. I'm working on a collaboration with the Rocketeer um, to get some of his cooler kits printed. Um, he has a really cool spinning one that he made that's just an odd rock that I want to sell. Um, and then yeah, so lots of cool stuff in the works. Um, I need a name for this rocket kit. Screwed. Again, this is a pretty unique one. It's not only going to be the fastest spinning thing on planet Earth, but um, it'll fly up, and then at apogee it'll turn sideways, right? And then when the motor ejects, instead of the nose cone coming off right here, the engine bay will actually pop out like this, and then a streamer will come out right here, which is really cool in my opinion. So definitely I need a name for this rocket that's better than just Screwed. I could call it Scrooge, maybe, because that's like well, I guess it's not really a meme. I thought of like Scrooge McDuck, but it has nothing to do with Scrooge McDuck, so I don't know why I would call it Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge and Scrooge just sound similar, phonically, or phonetically. But yeah. So, um, definitely comment down below, what you guys think, or comment down below what you guys think, if you guys think of any names for the Screwed rocket. And then I'll see you guys on the flip side. Stay curious and ignite the skies.